Tony Blair. I only have to say the name and people shudder. Why? Because we don't trust him. Doesn't matter what you think of him. He's broken down trust after the Iraq war, going in for weapons of mass destruction and coming back with 2 catapults and a slingshot and a load of dead bodies, amputees, and people have lost their hearing and sight. Not to mention what happened to the locals. Tony Blair is behind the digital ID. He's up for it 100%. His institute is advising governments across the world. Here we go again. We've heard that before. And one of his hotshots that he relies on is Larry Ellison. He's the man behind the ID, the push for it. And he owns Oracle, CBS, CNN, and soon he's going to own TikTok. He wants data centralised and a total surveillance. He says citizens will be on their best behaviour because we're constantly watching and recording everything that goes on. I find that terrifying. I don't want people to watch everything that's going on because people who are watching can abuse it. You've seen what can be done with AI, even with a normal photographic app. You can erase people from photographs. You can put them in them. How are we supposed to trust this? I'll show you a snippet of him saying it. He looks a bit of a strange bloke.
Transmitting that. Their best behavior, because we're constantly recording, watching and recording everything that's going on. Citizens will be on their best behavior because we're constantly recording and reporting everything that's going on.
When you come to government and what government's doing, there are artificial intelligence tools, and some of them I know that Oracle have developed around financial management for government, but also tell us a bit about because you're right at the forefront of this revolution, what it means for what government should do in terms of its digital infrastructure, digital ID, so on.
How do you take advantage of these incredible AI models? And the first thing a country needs to do is to unify all of their data so it can be consumed and used by the AI model. You have to take all of your healthcare data, your diagnostic data, your electronic health records,
Well, we get the drift. We can see where that's going, and you can see how Keir Starmer's bought into this a big time. He's now trying to get company directors to sign up for it. In fact, he's not going to give them any choice. It's going to be mandatory from about November this year. Which is why Together Declaration and the Reform Party and other MPs across Parliament are pushing back against this. Even the Lib Dems are pushing back against this because once you get this, there's no going back. And the thing is, we know why the country's in a mess. It's not because we who live here and have always lived here can't be trusted. It's because they've allowed people into this country from backgrounds they have little knowledge of, from lifestyles they have nothing in common with. They're picking wives during childhood. Consensual sex is basically when they want it, from who they want it from, without asking. Hence the rape stats have gone up. Hence the sexual assault stats have gone up. This could have been policed by watching our borders. Now what they're doing, they're reversing it on you. They're making out that we are the problem, that we need to be identified to stop the influx. No. The people coming in need to be identified, and you're allowing them in without a passport. That's quite simple. This is not rocket science. This isn't some wild, batshit crazy program. Oh, how are we going to solve this? You solve this by finding out who's coming to the country before you let them in. And they should be detained offshore until they're proven that they have a justified right to be here. We're doing this arse about tit. We're letting them come in. Then even if they fail their asylum claims, human rights lawyers are pushing it forward and appealing, getting paid from the taxpayer to do so, whilst basically people who are unsavoury and unsuitable are allowed to continue living in this country. The man that attacked the synagogues was out on bail for rape. And yet, you've got people still trying to blame the far right for the basic disintegration of the country, its morals and standards. Even the politically active former footballer is now a multi-millionaire company worth 100 million who supports socialism, via the Labour Party, is blaming the far right for what went on with the mosque attack. We all know who did it, we all know what background he was from, and we all know what he thought of us. So the trouble is, everything's the wrong way round, isn't it? It's like looking at an hourglass and turning it over and the sand's not falling through. Because we've had government after government after government, party's irrelevant, we've had government after government that's allowed unsavoury characters to come to this country, do what they want, increase crime. I mean, the crime from the Eastern European crime gangs is off the scale. The benefit cheeks from Eastern Europe, off the scale. It's unbelievable what they're claiming. They're running homes back in their own country. They're sending a lot of money back home. Everything is wrong. And these tyrannical lunatics think they're going to put it all right by giving you an ID. You've already got your ID. You've got your passport, your driver's licence, you've got copies of utility bills, council tax, your national insurance number, your benefit claims card. You've got 1,000,001 ways to identify yourself. You're not the problem. The problem is the government. The problem is the politicians. The problem is the NGOs like the Tony Blair Institute and big tech giants like Larry. I'm sorry, they're the problem. They are so the problem. This country and other countries in the West have changed forever since lockdown. Look at your NHS. You can't see your GP. Your surgeries are empty. Yet you come in by boat, go and live in a hotel. And you'll see a dentist, you'll see a nurse, you'll see a doctor. You'll see whoever you want to see because they're prioritised. How on earth is us having a digital ID going to stop illegal immigration? It's not. Legislation change is going to stop illegal immigration. An increased police force, better policing, fitter police. Police who want to actually do policing on the street. In the street, not the tweets. This is what we need. We don't need digital ID. And if you doubt me, if you don't understand the far-reaching, no-going-back, tyrannical, futuristic implications of digital ID, set your Facebook page to public and put all your details on it. Put how much you owe at the bank, or you're in arrears with your mortgage. List all your friends. Tell them all about your ailments. Put all your name and address on. Tell them, about your porn subscriptions. Put everything on there. Your health. See how you like it once it's out on display, because that's what the government's expecting you to do. They're calling it one-stop login. It's a one-stop failure point that you will have to use multiple times a day. Every time you use it, you flip that phone through, you will be at risk of all your data being breached by someone who will misuse it. And you've got to look at the model that Keir Starmer's basing it on. He's basing it on Estonia. Estonia, 1.4 million people. They've had 700 million euros taken from their bank accounts during online fraud due to the fact they've got this one-stop login. And we're copying that. It's been a resounding failure, and Estonia know it. They talk about it in tech magazines, but we're going to copy it. That's how ludicrous this scheme is. So we have to push back about digital ID. The Lib Dems don't want it, which is thankful. Reform don't want it. Most of the Tories don't want it. This is only a tyrannical push from a tyrant. So when you're looking at all these characters that you're hoping are going to get you out of trouble, whether you choose to support the Rupert Lows or the Ben Habibs, these people should be concentrating 100% on what's happening in government. Number 10, Keir Starmer, rolling stuff out. That's the focus. That's the enemy. Not nitpicking about Nigel Farage because you can't get on with him, because you want to be leader, because you think you can do a better job. Nobody knows you away from social media. That's no good. We need a face that everybody knows, that hasn't ripped us off yet, that hasn't let us down, that hasn't put us in jail for tweeting, that hasn't raised taxes, that hasn't increased energy prices, that can see the common sense in bringing them down so that manufacturing is encouraged, so that businesses don't bugger off abroad. Common sense, it's called. Common sense. That's all we're asking for. And you've got to resist this digital ID. If you work for a small employer and you've got a good relationship with him, talk to him, talk to them and say, you don't want to be part of this, because they do not understand the implications. The selling job that the government's doing, you could call it gaslighting. So please do all you can to resist it.